When do you need permission for book material? That's the topic I'm addressing today in The Right Question. I'm Daphne Gray Grant, the publication coach. I have a question from Kathy Miles, a writer based in Tucson, Arizona. Here's what she's asked by email. I am writing a short book. I would like to mention several nonprofit groups as potential places to volunteer at. I've reached out to all of them, but only heard back from a few. I wanted permission to mention them in the book. I'm not saying anything negative about them. Is it all right to mention them by name, even if I do not have permission? Thanks for your question, Kathy. First, I need to tell you that I am not a lawyer, and what you're asking is, at heart, a legal question. But I've worked in the publishing industry for 46 years now, and I can tell you how I view the situation. What made you worry that you might need to ask permission? To be honest, it's not a thought that would have crossed my mind. When I was a newspaper reporter and editor, we used to name organizations all the time and never thought twice about it. But if you have concerns, ask yourself whether your plan to publicize nonprofit groups and get volunteers for them is likely to please or irritate those groups. You're not saying anything negative about them, so why would they be upset? The only potential problem I can predict is if they don't need or want volunteers right now. If that's the case, they might be rightly annoyed if you were to send a flood of volunteers their way. As well, your readers might be annoyed at having been misdirected. You didn't describe how you tried to reach these groups, but I'm guessing you probably emailed them. My advice is to pick up the phone. Don't assume that just because they're nonprofits, they're looking for volunteers, and try to find out a little more info about what specific types of volunteers they'd most appreciate. Are they looking for people to work in their office, in the field, to do physical labor? All of these details are important and will make your book much more useful to your readers. The question is less about getting permission and more about collecting useful and important information. Your job as a book writer is to help other people, and if you're just guessing at something, you won't have done your job very well. Finally, let me wrap up with the words of the American computer scientist and U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Grace Hopper. It is often easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Kathy, I'm citing the Grace Hopper quote because sometimes writers are too fearful of taking chances. But on the other hand, sometimes they just don't do the necessary work. In your case, I think the issue is related more to collecting the necessary facts than to getting permission. If you'd like to learn more about how to make your writing a happier, more rewarding process, check out my latest book, Your Happy First Draft. It's not available in bookstores or on Amazon. The only place you can get it is my website, link below and in the show notes.